Hello and welcome to this special Intact Insurance podcast ahead of BIBA 2026. This year we're proud to take part in an important initiative focused on men's mental health, where open conversations can truly make a difference. We're delighted to have Aaron Cook, Intact Insurance's Men's Mental Health Ambassador for BIBA 2026, joining us today. Welcome, Aaron. Before we get into the conversation, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your day-to-day at Intact Insurance.
Sure. So I'm Aaron Cook, Senior Broker Development Manager for Intact Insurance UK, based out of the Bristol office, and I predominantly support our brokers in the southwest of England and South Wales. That's where I live, Newport, South Wales, with my daughter Nora and my wife Sarah. So that's kind of the day-to-day, supporting our brokers, ensuring they're looked after, and really about expanding our businesses together. And supporting them with all the services that we offer.
Fantastic. It's a massive year for Intact Insurance at BIBA. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm really excited to just see us under one brand this year. And I'm so excited that they are a principal sponsor as well. So we're going to see our name everywhere, seas of red. And I think really when I walk through that door and see that, it'll feel like all the hard work we've done over the last year to become one business is finally come through. So that's what I'm most excited about.
And you've got an additional role this year, Men's Mental Health Ambassador. What was the inspiration behind that for you?
Well, they say sometimes that reputation precedes you. I was asked to get involved, and I think for me that was the best part about it, that I was recognised in the business as someone who is an advocate for men's mental health. So when I was made aware that this breakfast focusing on men's mental health was happening and that we could get involved, I was more than happy to say yes, because I think any platform where you can use your voice to try and do good and change sort of the narrative around subjects you're passionate about, like I am, men's mental health, was something that I was never going to turn down. So yeah, super excited to get involved in that and meet Peter Crouch as well.
We'll talk about Peter Crouch maybe after, but you've touched on passion there for mental health. Why is that? Can you share some of your experiences and what drives you to have that passion? Yeah,
sure. So outside of work, I'm a trustee of a local suicide foundation called Jacob Abraham Foundation, and I got involved in that after a friend of mine was really struggling with their mental health and actually attempted to take their own life. And when I found out about what they'd been going through, and we'd actually lost touch, so we reconnected, and really I realised that probably our friendship previously was just superficial and not asking the deeper questions, and I can't believe that something like that happened, right under my nose. And then when you read into it, you find out it's more common, but obviously when something happens to someone close to you, it really hits home. Fortunately, he's one of the ones who's still around because he got support from the Jacob Abraham Foundation, which made me then want to sort of repay the favour to them by getting involved with fundraising, getting involved as a trustee and trying to help them in any way I can. So it's really from personal experience, and also just, being someone who struggles with their mental health from time to time themselves. Probably in the old days would have pushed that down, but nowadays I realise the strength in talking and realising you're not alone, and the more that we talk about it and normalise it, I suppose the more normal it becomes, and people feel more comfortable in sharing their story then. So that's probably a whistle-stop tour. It was born out of a personal experience with a friend, and since then I've been able to bring that into work as well, by getting the Jacob Abraham Foundation to come in and do a talk to our staff on a lunch and learn. I think we got over 300 people on that. So again, it's you can do good if you set your mind to it. So yeah, it's a big passion project of mine.
Thank you, Aaron, for sharing that. Such a sensitive topic. And I wonder, what is it that prevents people in the insurance industry from stepping forward and stepping out and talking about something that might be on their minds?
I think I was thinking about this the other day. I think it's born sort of out of three things. I think it's the way we're conditioned. I think particularly as men, the way we're conditioned, whether it's sort of directly or indirectly, is that we feel that to be strong is to hold things in and not to share. And all that conversation about masculinity, I think, scares some people. You've seen documentaries about what toxic masculinity can look like. So some people feel if they speak up, they're going to edge into that space where they don't want to go, But I think being a man, we're conditioned sometimes to think that you need to hold it in and that makes you strong, which is obviously not the case. And that leads to then the second thing about not maybe having the vocabulary to talk about it, because we don't know how to even enter the subject, you know, to describe feelings. So if you're not talking about it regularly, it's like anything, speaking well is something you have to practice. And the more that you talk about it, the easier that it becomes. So I think there's a lack of vocabulary and naming and describing feelings. And then the last one, maybe one of the biggest ones, is just fear. I think a lot of men particularly fear that when they speak up, it'll change how people perceive them. It'll make people think that they are not manly, you know, or they're not masculine enough and they're weak, and that's just totally not true. So conditioning, lack of being able to describe feelings, and fear, I think, are the three key things that stop people from speaking out.
And so what can people expect if they want to come and speak to you at BIBA? Where should they go, and what can they expect if they approach you?
So I'm there for the whole time. So, you know, we have an event Tuesday night, which we'll have a load of brokers coming along to. So again, if they're attending, I'd love them to come and say hello. I'll be milling around as usual. We have our stand, obviously, on the day as well. So on the 2 days, the Wednesday and the Thursday. So I'll be on the stand. If people want to come and chat there, they can. But of course, the breakfast is on the Thursday morning from half past 8 till 10:30. And as an ambassador at that breakfast, my role is to facilitate conversation over a coffee, and anyone who knows me knows that they can just come up, and I would just encourage people. That's the first step sometimes, is just to come up and have a conversation. And what I'll guarantee is if they come up and have a conversation with me, I will listen, you know. So please, if you're going to BIBA, seek me out somewhere that you can't really miss me. But I would sign up for the breakfast as well if you can, because it looks like it's going to be a really, really good session.
Thanks, Aaron. We're going to leave it there. Really appreciate you sharing such personal insights and such a sensitive story. And if anything there has resonated with you, please do sign up to that breakfast. Go and meet Aaron Cook on stand E10. And thanks for listening.